So this was another thing I had struggled just a little bit with in Strongholds and Warfare. My players had just finished clearing out the Castle Rend and they needed to start amassing their army. So the first thing we needed to do was roll on the units raised by keep table in 17. So let's do an example. Let's roll a D100, I got an 83. So an 83 on page 17 is a regular light cavalry. Alright, so let's build a regular light cavalry. So they are probably going to be humans, since they're probably going to raise these from Gravesford for me. And their experience, that's regular. And their armor type is light, and they will be a cavalry. So let's call these the Gravesford Riders. So to get their stats, everybody starts out with 10 toughness and 10 defense just for being a unit. And let's look at their ancestry. So these guys are humans. Humans get a +2 to power and a +1 for morale. So let's give them 2 power and 2 morale, or 1 morale. Let's check again. 1 morale. Now let's take a look at their traits. So humans are courageous, it's set up there. So they will also get this trait, which means that once per battle they can choose to succeed a morale check that they have failed. Now their experience was regular, so they'll get additions to attack, toughness, and morale of 1. Let's go fix that. Attack, toughness, morale. Okay. And then they were they light? Let's check. They were light. So 1 power, 1 defense. For their armor that they're wearing, 1 power, 1 defense. And they are cavalry. All cavalry get +1 to attack and +2 to morale. +1 to attack, +2 to morale. And that should be our unit. So my players role played, and the people of Gravesford wanted to help, so I didn't have a cost. But if you were perhaps buying your militia, the cost in gold is determined by this cost table. So all traits cost a certain amount of money if you're building a troop, and all the cost modifiers will add a modification to the total cost, and then your size if you were going to pick something other than a D4. I'm going to take a D4 for my casualty dice just because it's a role-played piece, but if you wanted to make it cost money, here's how much you would add to the total modifier and get a price out. So you can see here an example of the Rockford Dwarf Elite Heavy Infantry. 1d6 of them will cost 440. So let's throw these stats onto a blank card real quick. So their attack will be 2, their power will be 3, their morale will be 4, their size, I'm going to give them the D4 because it's role-played, that's the smallest size. Toughness is 11, defense is 11, and we're going to call these the Gravesford Riders. Excellent. Put a little smiley face for cost, and a little horsey. That's a horse, guys. Everybody saw it, everyone knows. Alright, yep, that's how I would make a unit card.